All right. Welcome again. Hopefully this sounds a lot better if you watched any of the other uh, movies with me. You probably heard a lot of noise. I mean, just like psh. Then you probably heard some scratchy sound, which I'm not going to reproduce here, but I guess I'll go. It was like that. But I'm sure it was annoying. But I was just trying to, start this stuff up quick because when I've got an idea, I usually get impatient on getting to it. So, but like I said, hopefully this sounds better. And anyway, we've got First Blood coming up, or Rambo First Blood, uh, and or Part One. I think they started renaming it kind of afterwards. Well, I mean, first of all, everyone always called it Rambo, as far as I can remember, and then yeah, so they made a part two and part three, and I'm sure after that, everyone's like, yeah, let's go watch Rambo, or hey, do you guys have a Rambo? It's like, no, yeah, we've got First Blood. I mean, and what if they don't know that? What if they don't know anything about the movies and you're trying to rent it? You're like, hey man, you got Rambo? And let's say the other two haven't come out on VHS yet. I don't know when the first one did. I don't know if it actually came out on VHS after the second movie came out in theaters. I don't know. That's a lot to think about. But anyway, what would you do? They wouldn't know. It's called First Blood. So, um, and it's based off a book. I'm sure it at least loosely follows along. I've never checked that out myself either. We're not looking for hard facts here, folks. We're looking for a good time, looking for good movies. Um, or if it's not a good time and they're not good movies, I guess let's. I don't know what you're doing here then. So I don't know what I'm doing here. So let's make it good. Yeah. So we'll just call it Rambo. Rambo. If you've never seen it, go watch it before listening to me talk over it the whole time, because I think it's a great movie, and it's not just an action movie. I wouldn't even classify it as an action movie, and I'm sure people say that sounds stupid, but let me explain myself. So the next two, the second one and the third one, I would say those are action movies. Yeah, like straight up action movies, and they even have the love interest in the second one. And of course, eh, even though Rambo gets pissed off at the guy, in charge that was going to leave him there, in the second one and stuff. Um, he's not out, killing cops or defying the law, or anything like that. He's just on a mission. Anyway, in this first one here, this movie's totally different. And it's not just about action or blowing stuff up. There's a lot of downtime or just intense scenes or kind of like hiding or running or looking or stuff like that too. So I wouldn't say it's action. I mean, that's kind of like Predator. People would say, "Oh, it's an action movie." Well, I mean, it's an action horror. Um, you know, uh, that just goes with that one. But anyway, back to Rambo, Part One, First Blood, John Jay, Old Harry. Here's a soldier. Um, yeah, a lot of good lines. And Rambo doesn't talk a lot, but the cops do, and Troutman, of course, is just awesome. Um, but anyway, this is like 4.5 minutes now. I hope you're all ready. I hope your VHS or your Blu-ray is ready, or your laser disc, or don't go too far off of the norm here, because we're trying to watch it together, and maybe they cut stuff out, maybe they added stuff. Don't be watching a director's cut or something with me. It's not fair. Um, but anyway, hope you're ready, and I'm gonna say, let's watch it together, and and we'll do that. So get ready, and let's watch it together. I'm trying not. Okay, there. Just trying not to hit the wire with my hair, because I don't even want to hear that sound anymore. I listened to these so many times. I wanted to make sure they didn't sound like total garbage. Because I'm working with some earbuds with a little, telephone microphone, or I guess cell phone microphone on there, which is not what you want to do. And so I was wearing the headphones too, and of course every time I moved my head, I've got long hair, and the hair would rub against the wire, even if it didn't touch the microphone. It'd be terrible. Anyway, good opening scene, good opening song. Very a downer song, very emotional and sad. It's not ramping up for the action. That's like what I was saying. It's not setting up to be an action movie here. So I don't think they're tricking you either. I mean, it is. This probably is the most tame part of the movie. Yeah, and hopefully you've seen it. Like I said, I don't have to explain any story, but I guess just a little bit in case you're listening to me more than the movie. He's a Green Beret and came back, and everyone in his, I don't know what you properly call a Green Beret thing, maybe an outfit or maybe your group, said they're all dead. And, well, except for this guy he's going to meet. And spoiler, that guy died too. So I mean, that's probably the only smile you see right here at the beginning from Rambo. I'm pretty sure it is. Well, I mean here at this whole part of the movie, at this little house. But it's great. This lighting, the lake, everything is just so natural. You're not going to see movies like this at all. Not a lot of them before this time, and not a lot of them after. This is early 80s is an interesting time for movies. It's almost real. Obviously they're acting, but I mean, it's fairly real. I mean, this lighting, obviously real. This place, I don't think this is a set, Not that there's really just a lady doing laundry out there and they filmed her, but I'm saying, this looks pretty legit. If it's not, it definitely looks like it is. Yeah, Delmar Barry. He's gone. Oh, well, when will he be back? I was jumping ahead. Sorry, I remember all the lines. I won't be doing that the whole movie. Chicken pox? Severe case? I can lift him off the sheets. Yeah, and see this turn. I don't think you're going to see Rambo smile again. Not in this movie. And it's not just that. I don't think it's just that it was his friend. That was his last friend. Well, he got Troutman. We don't know that. But he's still got Troutman. But Troutman's not... Oh, he threw that away. He's not like a friend. He's more like a mother figure to Rambo, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's got to be chilly. Gateway to Holiday Land. Welcome to Hope. I do want to look up where this is supposed to be at. I can't remember. and Dennehy, he's great. Dennehy's great. Hope Washington. Okay, up in Washington. Nice. I'm sure someone else could have recognized that pretty easy. It's cool. I assume they really filmed in that area because those mountains aren't green screened or paintings, so it's just amazing looking, having all this real stuff in the movie, you know. Here we go.
Visiting somebody around here?
Yeah, your mom.
You know, wearing that flag on that jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Looking the way you do.
Heard that before.
Trouble around here, friend. Headed north or south?
I had an American flag upside down on one of my shirts when I was younger,
You're heading the right direction.
because I was hardcore, and someone didn't like it and basically said the same thing.
Where you headed? Portland. Portland is south.
Yeah, seriously. Need a map, bro?
You got someplace I can eat around here?
So if it's not obvious enough, I mean, this guy's giving him a hard time. Looks a little rough, I guess. Rambo does. That guy, maybe he doesn't care, or maybe thinks he stole the jacket, or
So why are you pushing? You haven't done it.
yeah.
First of all, you want to ask the question.
And here we go. Isn't this how it is? I mean, it's so beautiful how accurate the small town cop mindset's displayed in this movie. And that brings me to a big point, is that you're not going to see movies like this, not just because of the realistic backgrounds and the way it's filmed and lighting and stuff like that, and the way people acted back then, or at that time at least. Some better than others. But, I mean, if you've ever watched Rambo 2 and 3, which are the ones I remember as a kid, I don't think I watched First Blood first. So when I thought of Rambo, it was action, right? His muscles, you know, were all ripped out, and he had a giant bazooka or the giant gun, and yeah, not kind of this kind of washed up or homeless type, you know, yeah, stinky apparently. But anyway, yeah, and so this movie's got a lot of it's certainly not anti-law. If anything, Rambo follows the law. He's within his rights for most of the stuff in this movie. But that's not the important part. The important part is that he's standing for, you know, what's good or what's right. That doesn't go too far. I'm pretty sure it does. I think he snaps, right? There's some of him that's the hero in this movie. And then there's some of him that's I wouldn't say the, you know, the bad guy. I would say he's also got problems, and he doesn't deal with them correctly all the time. So this long drawn out point I'm making is the second movie and the third movie aren't like that. They're not inspirational to stand up for yourself even against law, you know, and the officers of the law and people who enforce the law. They're not right. They're not right all the time. They're humans, and they can also be terrible people, just as they could be good people. But around where I'm from, your average cop is, yeah, usually a jerk, or kind of stupid, or isn't reasonable, or will only try to escalate situations no matter what it is, you know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It can be ridiculous, and so that can cause a stigma, you know. But I don't think it is just that. I don't think it's just rumors. I don't, you know. I think that's a general type of person who is cast in the role of a police officer. Normally, your average cop. And I don't know. I don't live like New York City or something. That's going to be different than your town, your village. You know, definitely different from this sheriff here. Big difference. But you're not going to see movies like that that try to inspire you to be anti-cop and anti-law. You know, this movie, this movie's a lot different. And what if I mean, what if you are a good old boy and you're watching this? What do you think about this movie? That Rambo was in the right, or that he shouldn't have been doing this? He's the crazy madman, and it's a fun watch. You know. And that guy, we all know that guy. He's from CSI Miami and all that stuff. You know him. Oh man, this guy's a treat. It's like Igor. Oh yeah, and Creepster in the back. I looked him up. I can't remember what else he was in. Name? Mount. Beanie Bow. Ew. I don't think that was clean water. So, okay, David Caruso was the red-haired guy I was talking about. This guy is Jack Starrett, I think. Right? Pretty sure. He's an older actor. I mean, he did stuff before this. Okay, Chris Mulkey. That's the creepster in the back that's going to shave him, or going to try to shave him. So I wouldn't want to catch you, or something like that. John Jay? Alright, we got Broken Trail, Mud on the Tires, Twin Peaks. He's in Arresting Behavior. Nothing crazy. Beauty and the Beast. Is that him? Was he the Beast? No, okay. Ron Perlman. That's right. Ron Perlman was the Beast. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what different people do think about this first Rambo. Whoa. Oh, nothing I can't handle. Never seen this before. Yeah, I mean, I guess it reminds me of another story that when I was in second grade, I had a substitute teacher for Mrs. George's class, and she wasn't there all day. I don't think she just like read a book to us because Mrs. George had to go, do something. Maybe had to leave early. Anyway, she stopped reading the book, and she's like, "You guys, you know that you don't have to do what an adult tells you, especially if it's wrong." She wasn't telling us to be just defiant. I'm sure she worded it a little bit different, but yeah, I think that was awesome. That was awesome of her to. I think she probably felt like she had to say something like that. Like I've got this hour, I'm gonna go talk to these kids. What would I say? What would I want someone to tell me back then? What would I tell myself back then? I think she had great advice. I think it was awesome. It's really cool and out of character for your average teacher, at least back then, and say for a second grader. Not to tell kids that they something like that, but I just mean that wasn't the norm. No, it was American BS. Obey every adult, obey every cop, obey every teacher, obey your parents, even if they're abusive. No, that's the norm. So yeah, she She went out of her way to not be normal, which was awesome. So, I mean, that's what it takes. That's like Rambo here. I mean, this does get kind of glorified, and like he's so cool and he can do all this really well and he's awesome and he's the Green Beret and stuff. But he's standing up for his rights, you know. I mean, even just basic human, what you and I would hopefully say are Rambo's rights. I'm not talking lawfully. I mean, just how we should treat each other normally, you know. Like, yeah, isn't this just so weird that any other human would, these guys would actually be doing this? And the red-haired guy, he's just going along because it's his job. It's not like this type of stuff happens every day. He probably knows these guys are like kind of crappy people, but he deals with them because they're not doing anything crazy. Well, get ready, because that was the last straw right there. Yeah, I heard some disparaging news about a certain director, maybe that was maybe gonna reboot this movie. That would be just disgusting. Um, I'm sure they would make it gory and bloody and an action movie and try to say some real stupid political things that are very basic. Um, yeah, so let's all hope against that. I mean, I have no idea what happened in the new RoboCop movie. I did give it a chance. I didn't give the new Total Recall a chance. There's no need to. Was there? I didn't think so, you know. Oh man, I talked over it. His slide kick for that last guy. It was unnecessary. Yeah, there's a lot of buses. Excuse me, a lot of buses in this movie. Art. He just almost shot someone. It's one of my favorite parts to yell along with. You can just yell whatever you want during that part. He's flying. Okay, so yeah, some of it's Stallone. They'll get some shots of him in his face. Not that one. I would suspect not that one. Um, but the stunt double does an alright job of turning his head around even when he's, yeah, right there. Look at, he's blocking his face and then he turned. You know, did you ever notice that before? He had to block his face by doing a wheelie. Like he's like, no man, I can do a wheelie. We can get this long straight shot of me coming towards you, even though I don't have, you know, Stallone's face on. So yeah, and then he turned his head when he was putting the wheelie down. It's good thinking. It works. I don't think I don't think seeing these scenes takes me out of it. I'm just picking it apart right now. Um, I mean, maybe it is pretty clear. Maybe if I had it on a big screen, I could actually see the stunt double. You know, notice the difference. But yeah, like right there. Oh, that's so cool. This is like crazy. Hmm. I feel like that was the first time they did that too. I mean, was there tracks already? Like I bet a lot of these scenes were done once, or like kind of live. Or he's like, just drive through the field.
Lester, this is Will. I'm right on his tail. He's just east of Smith's Farm, headed towards Chapman Creek.
Like I wonder how, yeah, how you plan a lot of this out. I mean, these places probably aren't near each other in reality, but I bet they're in the same area, and I bet they marked all these places out of where they could, you know, do these certain scenes and planned it out. Because, I mean, I want to say it's... Maybe not. Maybe they had to travel around. But then, yeah, you're not going to have the mountains in the background if you go to, like... I don't know, you got to go to Mexico to film it. You're not going to have these same mountains, you know. In that, like, I didn't see an explosion. And I mean, like, a charge. So I wonder if they really expected it to flip, or flip multiple times and it didn't. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? Drag the car back out of there and redo it? Waste another cop car? Probably not for this movie. So they probably did it once and let the dice roll with what happens with the car. I bet it was supposed to kind of roll more. Who knows? Maybe it did exactly what it was supposed to. I'm just yammering. You'll never work in this town again. Yeah, it's a little chilly. Like this place, I don't think they dragged a trailer in there and put those holes in the top and stuff. I think this is just a spot. And they're like, yeah, go in there, grab the rope, run by the old rusty car. And yeah, so I figured out what that was last time. That's where that's their shooting hole. Their shooting pot right there. That silver thing's all chewed up. Looks like a popcorn bowl. That's where they come out and shoot, I bet. You know, right? It's just hanging there. It's real. I guarantee that's not a prop. Yeah, got the old potato sack. Oily potato sack. That wasn't even in the script. He just started picking stuff up and chopping it and made an outfit. He's like, what do you think? I love it. How he's not mentioning the car. Yeah. Yeah. This guy. Delusional. Right on the spot. Yeah. We'll get him. He's crazy. He is crazy. That's what you get. I mean, I'm not saying that's not what I meant. What I mean is, that's what you can get when you have a police mentality or a power mentality or like a judge or a political person or something. You think you have this power over others, and especially if you're following the law, you can do whatever you want, you know, because they have different laws. All those people I just mentioned. It's crazy. Celebrities, you know, they have different ways of how they're handled, especially if you just got money, right? But seems like a nice area. Is that GPS? Surprised it works out there. He's gonna get it. You'd think him to be innocent, but he's a patsy. Wait, is that a patsy? No, he's a crony. Sorry. Did that scare him? Stepping on that log and seeing that pop up? And then he's like, oh no, keep going. No, really, I saw it. We all saw it. It was true. I still enjoy Rambo 2 and Rambo 3. I wasn't talking smack about them. But I enjoy this movie for an entirely different reason than those. Those are cheesy action movies. What, Rambo playing goat ball? Like what? Saving Troutman. Troutman went on a mission. Like what? No. He's usually out shining a seat with his ass. So crazy. That'd be kind of fun though. Yeah, all these helicopter scenes, all this stuff's real. Obviously. But I mean, it's crazy to think about today and all the stupid looking helicopters that are in movies that are just terrible. Take you right out of it. Dude, yeah, and the scene here in a bit, spoiler, where Galt is shooting at him and stuff. He's behind that tree. So awesome. So crazy. I mean, not that Stallone's hanging on for his dear life here, but they had to set all that up. I mean, for that shot, for where they showed the helicopter, too. Right there, like that. I mean, someone set up. Yeah, it's Stallone. Yeah. It was awesome. They're like, just move your head back and forth a lot. Like, a whole lot. Uh, wasn't he going the other way?
What the hell's going on? What are you doing? We're just supposed to spot it.
There's a thermal draft. Oh, jeez. Here we go. I'll kill you. Okay. Okay, I'll fly right then. Yeah, good. Yeah, just keep barking orders, dude. You can't fly through a mountain. And that guy can't hear you either. He can't hear anything you're saying. Just a FYI. There he goes. Get him. Get him while he's going down. Oh, yeah, this part. I always think about scraping on the trees rather than just hitting them. Like, when it shows him kind of hitting his ribs right there and stuff. Like, just the bark, like a pine bark, you know, and it's got some kind of powderiness to it, too. So it, like, scrapes you and then gets the stuff all over you and it just burns so bad. You can tell I've been scraped by trees before, jumping off mountains. You're not helping. Yeah, this scene. Yeah, what we did was we we had the helicopter hanging on a string. We had a dummy. He's mechanical. We had him shooting the gun. This is all done in the studio. Nope. Nope, he doesn't hear you. He's just rapidly firing. Yeah, that guy. That guy's got a full head of dark hair. Yeah, continuity. He landed on his back, right? But then here, I think he actually landed on his front. Oh no, okay, yeah. But then the front of his head's all bloody. I don't know. That's me. That's me being picky. Yeah, and so Rambo, that's the first guy he just killed since he's been out of like Vietnam and stuff, or whatever missions he was doing afterwards. As far as we know, that's the first guy he's killed. So when he was staring at him like that, he was, I think it's kicking in little by little. Like he says, "Why he pushed me? Why is he pushing me?" And yeah, he goes further and further, and this guy keeps pushing him. You really want to do that to a Green Beret? Those guys are real badasses. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, doing this, really? Like, this is just crazy. It can be hard to watch. Oh man. You got that blood coming out every once in a while. Ugh. That's awesome. It's really good.
How'd he fall off? Doesn't matter. His nail just suck his ass. He can't be fine. Well,
Yeah, I think he's dancing like a chicken.
it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I don't want any more hurts. Freeze.
Oh,
Stand right where you are. Keep yourself up. But I didn't do anything. I wanted you, boy. Don't make a move.
he's gonna do. What do you think?
I didn't do anything.
Write in the comments below. Is he gonna do the Macarena or the chicken dance? Oh, neither. What was that? The twist? Could you just run off if you just got hit in the eye with a bullet? Maybe. I'm sure adrenaline's real high, right? Oh, maybe. I mean, I'm pretty sure Rambo was just acting like he got hit, but maybe it was just shrapnel, or maybe shrapnel did hit his eye, or like, rock, a little piece of rock that got shot. Uh-oh, he knew it. He knew there was something about that guy. Told you. Nothing, let's call everybody back. Let's go home.
I want you to do what I told you to do, goddammit. Get that chopper back here now. Out.
Oh my. Dude, there's thermal drafts. It's cold.
War hero. That's great.
Shut your mouth.
Now what the hell's the matter with you guys? He's one man. Wounded. Those Green Berets. They're a real badass. Why don't you let the state police handle this?
Oh. There we go. Art Galt. I wonder if he said ass instead of nose. I think his mouth was kind of hidden there. And maybe I don't know why. I guess I don't know why they would have done it. This isn't edited for television, so I don't know. You can say wiping your nose, but wiping your ass sounds like that guy's being more like cool and like nasty and hardcore about it. And like, remember when your mom would wipe your butt? I do. Oh, good call. What is he, a meteorologist? What? What is going on? They getting the fever? You've been you've been out here for like an hour. All right, maybe like a couple hours. Yeah, tensions are high, tempers flare. Not the old man. Oh my goodness, who gave them these? I mean, this movie really displays the inability of this police force here. I don't think I ever thought about that contrast either. About these are the so-called protectors of America, right here. But then, I mean, so was Rambo, right? He was a defender, or he was a protector. He was a warrior, you know. But these guys are obviously a joke. They're abusive. They abuse their power. Um, Rambo doesn't, you know. He tries not to use his power. But they just keep pushing him. In the car? Because he shot it like 20 times. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a lot of work. Can he just do it himself? Babies? You forgot the babies in the car? Man, this movie gets dark. I mean, like, dark looking. That's that, what do you call that? Twilight, I think, is why. It's like that light and dark, that time of day. Where flashlights don't work. It looks awesome. That place is sweet. Oh my goodness, 50 feet? Sorry about that noise. I didn't know I didn't have that down. Sorry. Oh yeah. Yard sale? Yep, yard sales tomorrow. I'm a big yard sailor, that's for sure. Sail the 7 yards. I've got second hands for days. That's what I call it when my hands get all gross when I'm thrifting. Call it second hands, because you know they're all second hand items and your hands feel gross. I felt like maybe I had to explain it. So there. You can go ahead and use that. Call it second hands. Oh, I don't even want to think about it anymore. Think about rebooting Rambo. Hopefully it was just a joke. They said it was going to be... Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. Look it up yourself. I'm not mentioning it. Any facts about it here. But they do everything. I mean, they try to reboot everything. You can't do it again. You can't. There's no rekindling that magic. There's no remaking that. There's no making it better. Unless it was a piece of junk to start off, or really bad to start off, and then I could see a reboot being a good thing for something that was a terrible thing. You're like, nah, it didn't, it didn't do what it could have, Didn't make any money, didn't catch any people's eyes. I felt like it could have been a good story, and then they ruined it. Then I could see a reboot being a good thing. That'd be, yeah, one of those things where you're just like, oh, I wish it was good. I really want this to be good. Well, don't worry, we're going to reboot it and make it good. Yeah, that'll be the day. Never. Why would you ever? Anything from a video game like Final Fantasy to a movie like RoboCop. You know why? I just money. Oh yeah, that's that's a classic trick. Classic. I mean, give out in the comments below if whether you agree or not, or what would be a good reboot. What do you think they need to reboot that was actually fairly terrible? The Zelda cartoon, I liked it. Excuse me, princess. Like, it was fun. I really liked Mighty Max. That was a good cartoon. Mutant League. That cartoon was awesome. I don't think they ever put that on anything. There's like one or two VHS. They never put out the whole season. Maybe someone's bootlegged it by now. That'd be nice. But it's hard to get a hold of. I got some of the figures from Mutant League. Yeah, I get it now. It's like he's got him he's got all them in Vietnam right now. You know, like they're having to walk through the bush. They're losing them one by one. You know, losing their friends. This isn't the war yet? What is this? Pre-war? Yeah, that was a close one, bud. Old life flashed before your eyes. Bet you didn't wake up today and think this was going to happen from the guy you were pushing. That's reality smacking you in the face over and over again. Here we go. Call in the troops. You got to get everybody for this guy, for one guy. He's a Green Beret. Oh man, he's upset. Probably because his pants are too tight. Well, I am wearing a woman's jacket, as was the style at the time.
Somewhere in this rugged mountain countryside, possibly above the snow line, shrouded in mist, the fugitive John Rambo is hiding.
Or he's just like right around the corner.
Police, along with local members of the National Guard, are now being mobilized. What still remains unexplained by local authorities is just how and where the former Green Beret came into possession of the weapons with which he allegedly killed one deputy sheriff and tried to kill 6 others. Only their skilled training and police enforcement techniques saved their lives. And word now is the fugitive will be in custody in a matter of hours.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know.
Yes, Will.
Let's all go home.
Willer says something I think you ought to know. Talk to you later. What is it, Lester? What is it?
I hate your wife's cooking. It's terrible.
I was just talking to Mitch, and he was saying that Dalton, a couple of deputies were a little hard to pack. Yes.
Oh, this is the guy that got slide kicked, isn't it?
Damn bit of difference, Dave, and you know it. If one of my deputies gets out of line with a prisoner, then the prisoner comes to me with it.
Oh, yeah, I'm
If
sure.
I find out it's like he says, I kicked the deputy's ass. Me, the law. That's the way it's got to be. People start fucking around with the law and all hell breaks loose.
He's right, because that's what he did. God didn't make Rambo. I made him.
I made him. Who the hell are you?
That's Troutman, man. Fishy Troutman.
Busy this morning, Colonel. What can I do for you?
Fish liquor Trump.
Boy, I recruited him. I trained him. I commanded him in Vietnam for 3 years.
That's it.
I'd say that makes him mine. I wonder why the Pentagon would send a full-bird colonel down here to help us. The Army. Well, that might be a bit of help. I don't know in what way.
But
Rambo's a civilian now. He's my problem. I don't think you understand.
seriously,
I didn't come here to rescue Rambo.
this guy's crazy.
I came here to rescue you from him. Well, we all appreciate your concern. We'll try to be extra careful. I'm just amazed that he allowed any of your posse to live.
Yeah.
Right. Strictly speaking, he slipped up.
Sorry, I mean, I get infatuated with the colonel when he speaks. I just can't take my eyes off of him. Bare hands.
A man who's been trained to ignore pain, ignore weather, to live off the land, to eat things and to make a billy goat puke. Vietnam, his job was to dispose of enemy personnel.
To kill. Period.
Period.
Win by attrition.
By attrition. Rambo was the best.
He's like, oh crap. You're right. That is, yep. That's the same Rambo. That's the guy we've been dealing with. That's him. You're right. Is that a bear? Oh, a pig? Or is that a man? Is that a man bear? Is that a bear pig? Is it a man bear pig? He doesn't look bad in that. I think he's probably just gonna start wearing that. It's real chic. That's real. That ain't just a prop. What? Wait a minute. Oh, is he tying a rope to it? I was gonna say that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, Colonel, now you got us all scared.
If he's expecting someone just to kick that over.
Think I ought to do about your psycho out there. Let him go. What? For now,
Okay.
diffuse the whole situation. Diffuse him.
This is the smartest way. He's exactly right.
Then put out a nationwide APB. In a couple of
He's only right because he knows Rambo.
car wash, there'll be no fight, and nobody else will get hurt. I do my own work. I don't figure the best way to do that is to close my eyes and hope he gets picked up in Seattle. Well, if you send your people in there after him, they'll get killed. You know, we're just a small hick county sheriff's department, Colonel.
Well,
We're
obviously.
expected to do our duty just like our heroes in the special forces.
See, yeah, there's the
Special forces, we teach our people to stay alive.
comparison I was talking about, the contrast.
I never thought of that. You want a war you can't win? Are you telling me that 200 men against your boy is a no-win situation?
If you're gonna go in there, you better just remember one thing:
One thing. What?
a good supply of body bags. Yeah, I got some. I got like 200. Is that enough? Nope.
I don't know which side you're on,
Nope.
Ralph.
Gonna need a lot more.
I still think you came out here just to cover your ass. But if you're serious about taking Rambo out clean, follow me.
What? Where would they go? That was the tent where they talk about getting Rambo. This kind of reminds me of Surviving the Game. When Ice Tray ends up being in the cave with the guy from Scrubs. That's a good movie. It's very cheesy, but very fun. A lot of, I probably already said that before, a lot of good characters in that movie. Busey. I can't remember his name. Guy from Scarface. And then you've got other, what's his name? And then the one guy I think is in it too. I'm looking it up. I'm trying to stall while I'm looking up the cast here. Yeah, we got Ice Tray, Rutger Hauer, Gary Busey, Charles S. Dutton. Oh, F. Murray Abram. Yes, from Scarface.
No, not for us. They might do it for you, Colonel.
Yeah. No, it's an awesome movie. It really is. If you haven't seen Surviving the Game.
He's talking into sparing all our lives by giving himself up. I can try. At least we'll get a radio fix.
Try
You don't mind setting them up?
your best, Colonel.
Setting them up for you. It's like bringing the pigeon
here's sort of a lull in the movie, you know, like some downtime, but there's still some intensity to it, you know. It's like not action, I'll tell you that. People aren't acting crazy. And this, I mean, to wake up to this, his PTSD. Colonel knows that. That's why he's doing this. He knows that's going to get the attention of him. And look at him. I know, he's thinking, is this a dream? What is this? I bet he still doesn't know.
Copy leader to identify Baker team. Rambo. Mesner.
They're all dead, sir.
Coletta. Jorgensen. Danforth.
Not Danforth. He made it up.
Krakauer. Confirmed. This is Colonel Trump.
Who?
Talk to me, Johnny.
Well, I spit in that. That's my spit cup. Is that the same cup?
Jim, get on. Rambo, are you alright? Over. Baker team, they're all dead, sir. Not Delmore Berry. He made it. Berry's gone too, sir. How?
Got himself killed in Nam.
Got himself killed in now.
Didn't even know it.
Can't say him down to the bone. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm the last one, sir. It's good to hear your voice, Johnny. Been a long time. Look, John, you've done some damage here. But they want
Well.
trouble. He's northwest. That's why.
Oh, they got him. Why don't you just triangulate his cell phone?
Just you and me. We'll work this thing out together. Is that fair enough? Where'd you come from, sir? Bragg. I tried to get in touch with you, but the guys at Bragg never knew where to find you.
What'd you do? Send an email?
Spending much time there.
Probably went to my spam folder.
DC, I'm sharing a seat with my ass.
Told you.
I wish I was back at Bragg now.
We'll talk about that when you come in.
We'll talk about that when you come in. I can't do that, sir.
I'm gonna need some McDonald's, couple girls,
John, we can't have you running around out there.
can of gasoline,
There are no friendly civilians. I'm your friend, Johnny. I was there with you knee deep in all that blood.
and a toucan.
I covered your ass more than once. Seems like bailing you out of trouble is gonna be a lifetime job for
Oh, come on now, Colonel. Lifetime job? I thought you hadn't seen him in forever. Which is it? Yeah, well, you did some pushing yourself.
Some pushing of your own, John. They drew first blood, not me.
Uh-oh, there it was. Everybody drink.
Let me come in and get you the hell out of there.
Drink again. It's a long road when you're on your own. I guarantee that's what he's thinking.
Copy leader to Raven. Rambo, acknowledge.
It's over, Colonel. We got him.
All finished, Colonel. A real good fix on it.
That is, I mean, who doesn't do that? Do we all do that? We all trying to guess what they're going to say next? I'm just guessing. I've never seen this movie before. There's just not a lot going on. I mean, I could go on another tangent about the law. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so these guys, they make them look corny too. Like they're weekend warriors kind of jokes, you know. This movie was really probably, or the book, was written by someone who's very pro Green Beret and thinks that they're the real heroes, you know. Or at least maybe just people who went to Vietnam. Those are the real heroes, not any of these jokesters, you know. Not the local police, not the captain of the police, whatever, wherever he's hanging out. Not the National Guard. Yeah, and so I think that was another switch that was flipped when the colonel got a hold of them and did that whole thing and kind of acted like they were back, you know, back in it. Oh my goodness! Pow! Pow! Yeah, so I think more switches are being flipped. You know, I mean, that took him more than a second to not kill that kid. You know what I mean? I think he's losing it. What? I guess you could assume that. I mean, he is wearing like a bag, a dirt bag. Oh, he's a literal dirt bag. Huh. Oh man, I was just imagining a speeder bike coming through there. Oh yeah, and here's Hoth. This is just like Star Wars. Yeah. Yep. See, now he's got a bigger weapon. Now he's shooting at them. Now I mean, he's not just running away. He's not threatening to not kill them. He keeps going over these edges, you know, keeps going further and further, but they just keep pushing him. This guy reminds me of, what was it? Nightstand with Dick Dietrich on E, the E channel, forever ago. Probably late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, it was a funny show. And then he did Son of the Beach on FX, when FX like just came out. Well, a little bit after, I guess, but it was still kind of new. They also did, wow, they had some good stuff on FX and E. I liked E. Howard Stern, it's ridiculous. What was it? Fast food movies. I think it was like a 15-minute show on FX. It might have been on other stuff too, or something. And they would just show you some crazy movies, real quick, just clips of them, like Surf Nazis Must Die, you know, or some trauma stuff, things like that. It was neat. It definitely showed me some movies that I had no idea what they were, you know, back in the day. But I was definitely into Toxic. I was into Toxic Crusaders. They're gross, but they still get girls. I was into... I remember getting Toxie 3. I know I had to have seen them already, but I remember getting Toxie 3 when I was like... I don't know. I want to say 14 or 15. I remember grabbing the VHS from a rental place that was selling them. Because I didn't used to rent a lot of movies. I wasn't allowed to rent rated R movies. So if I was watching any movies like that, I was watching them at a buddy's house. I mean, there's some my parents didn't care about. They didn't care about me watching Rambo or Predator or whatever. You know, The Sixth Day. That's probably Philip K. Dick, I would say. But it's an alright movie. It's a weird Arnold movie that wasn't very big in the 90s. I want to say 96, 7-ish. But I love watching that movie. We'll have to watch that one too. He's still wearing that coat, dude. That looks like he does not belong in it. I wonder what they did here. Like if they actually kind of caved in some stuff, or if they went and built the structure, and then of course they caved it in. Because I mean, all this just looks really real, really nice. Look like a real mine entrance, but I don't think they would destroy a real mine entrance like that. And this whole cave scene, it's... Oops. I hit the wire there. It just looks, real. I'm sure they brought the rats in. What do you do with that? What if you are out in the wild and you're like, I need a couple hundred rats. We're going to soak them in water, put them in this dark cave, and then what? Round them up? Like, oh, where's Tony at? Where's Scott at? Oh, Delilah? Is she running around here somewhere? It's like, well, we got 47 out of 200 rats. Yeah, like, what are you going to do? Unless it was just all on a set, and then that makes it a lot easier. So, or they're free. Now the rats are free. Free to roam Washington.
Here lies John Rambo, winner of the Congressional Medal of Honor, survivor of countless incursions behind enemy lines, killed for vagrancy,
Jerkwater.
Don't give me any of that crap, Trump. You think Rambo was the only guy who had a tough time in Vietnam? He killed a police officer, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, exactly. He knows it. This is what can happen. You'll never watch the show Cops, almost never, and see the bad guy get away. The bad guy, right? They're the bad guys. Me and you, we're the bad guys. If you're not a police officer, you're a bad guy or potential bad guy. So, know that, first of all. And then when do you ever see the bad guy get away? You don't. They're not going to show you that, It's that cop mentality. I mean, it's BS. That's just like an investigator or a interrogator. More of an interrogator. I didn't mean investigator. That, they're just full of lies. They're full of manipulation. They're full of BS. That's what they do for a living, They lie to people and manipulate people. It's like, what good do you think will come from that? Well, I mean, you'll get 90% false confessions, I would think. Like, there's a high rate of confessions, and we know those people didn't do the things, People just confess to get out of it, confess for the lesser charge, or, whatever, confess to something else because they can't prove the other thing. Confess to speeding or not wearing your seatbelt instead. When the cop says, oh, I'm just going to give you a ticket for a seatbelt ticket. It's like, well, no, I wasn't speeding and I was wearing my seatbelt, so I don't think so, I've had to talk back to cops before. I've been arrested, and he pulled my freaking hair and stuff. It was stupid, but handcuffed me and everything. I flipped off a cop. It's not illegal. It wasn't threatening. He was doing something illegal, and I didn't even think about him being a cop. I just immediately flipped him to bird when I was driving by, and he chased me down to my house and was threatening to pull a gun on me, but he was too fat and sweaty, and he just had to run up like 15 feet. That's all my driveway was. It was a hill, but it was like 15 feet, and it was blacktop. It wasn't like gravel. It wasn't loose dirt. Man, this guy's huffing and puffing and just looks like insane. He's pretty fat. He looked like Farva, except for stupider. And this guy comes up to me. I'm out of my car. He's like, "Get back in your car." And I was like, "No." I said, "I'm home. I just locked it up." He's acting all crazy. He doesn't throw me up against the car, but he's like, "Put your hands behind your back." And I was like, "No." So I kept resisting. And he was winning over because I didn't want to actually resist, because I know whatever he says is what's going to be told, to a judge and anyone else, even if it's bullcrap. So, anyway, he went to write down my information because I've given it to him, and he's got a pen and he's got the palm of his hand. He doesn't even have a notebook, so he's trying to write it on the palm of his sweaty ass hand, and he can't. And so he's just acts real dumb, and he acts like he did it. Then a couple minutes later, he's like, "Give me your information." I said, "Dude, I already did. You tried to write it on your sweaty hand like an idiot." Like, what? It was so funny. He wanted me to get back in the car so he could say, I was doing things illegally while I was operating a motor vehicle, and I didn't. So anyway, he made up a bunch of stuff. They had to let me out that day. I still had to pay a fine because I wasn't going to pay lawyers to fight it. And I did have a court-appointed lawyer just, I think, for the hearing, or I don't know what it's called, just a little thing where they say what you got to do because of your actions. And the judge tried to say I was crazy, and I looked at the lawyer. I said, dude, like, I was about to talk. I was about to tell the judge, shut up. And the lawyer had to say, look, judge, like, all this was a little crazy. They didn't talk about me flicking them off. Anyway, he acted like I was a conspiracy theorist because I said this guy made up charges, which he did, legitimately, 100%. So that's that story. I had to pay a fine, put me on 6 months reporting, a year and a half non-reporting. I called in, and I never had to see anybody. Never had a drug test once. Didn't have to drug test that day. He sent me down to go drug test. I was like, okay. And I didn't. So. Ridiculous. Anyway, that's just one run-in with local police around here. It's never a good thing, and it's usually just traffic stops. Just like that. That would have been a traffic stop. Like, the cops murder people around here. It's crazy. They lit a dude on fire when they first got their tasers. The first 2 weeks they got their tasers, this guy was huffing stuff in front of them. They knew he was. One of the number one things you're not supposed to do is shoot someone with a taser when they're huffing fumes. And they tased him and just set him on fire. It was a big thing. It was in the news. It was Dan. Dan was set on fire. I knew the guy. Like, I mean, it wasn't just a story around here. I knew him. I knew it happened. You know, he's alive today. Let's talk about it. He's back in jail. He's got stuff going on. So, anyway, so Rambo's dead. This is the end of the movie.
I mean, what would you have done with him if he came in? Would you wrap your arms around him, give him a big sloppy kiss? Or would you have blown his brains out?
There's no crazy music in the background here. We're just doing still camera work. We're not having to do panning everywhere around the place, showing off all the cool design of this bar. It's like we're just here. It's just here. You know it's a bar. These guys are having a real talk. He's still wearing that girl's jacket. Yeah, but all this, I wonder how much is it? Part of a set? I don't think it is. You know? I think there was a place to go in here. They're like, look, we got it mapped out. Hold this torch. Hold this real torch. And climb through this real cave. And we'll film it. It's amazing. It really is. I mean, it's so cool. I wonder how much of the movie was written around these places that they came upon, you know, or that they scouted out. I think, yeah. What's wrong? I think he just used a ladder. Oh, man, he has a rickety ladder. Don't use the ladder. Yeah, it just keeps going up levels. It just keeps escalating. Some people don't back down, especially when you've got politics and money and the so-called law and deadly weapons and militaries and armies, you know, at your back, behind your back, you know, backing you up, saying it's okay to do what you do because we said it's okay. I mean, it's just crazy. All this power that gets thrown around. And that's what they do. They push because it's pride. You got to have that pride. We always get our man. America always wins. You know, American pride. Pride for a flag. Pride for a country. It's really disgusting sometimes.
Okay? Rhoda, get out of the truck. I got no beef.
I mean, pride's gross. I don't think a lot of good things come out of pride. I mean, it's a pretty specific term. It doesn't mean it means that you're proud. You know, the word proud would mean that you have a feeling about it that, because I don't know the actual definition. Maybe I should just look up the actual definition. But a feeling of, I don't want to say accomplishment, but of deserving. It's a feeling of, you take pride in that. You take I don't know. Let's look it up. That's a great line. All right, definition of pride. Okay, a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, deep pleasure. I think that's the problem with it. It's pride is more than, yeah, it's more than just satisfaction. It's more than just liking. It's more than just, um, you know, it gets in the way. As we see here, it's a good moral for the movie. Lose that pride. Oh, and not to mention, I think it's Pride Month, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Go ahead and get rid of that. It's not a good trait. That is so crazy. It did like an action zoom right there. Oh, here we go. Going for the pit maneuver. Is this supposed to be a thing too? Like, the cops got the little car and the army's got big cars? I don't know. I just keep trying to think comparisons. Another thing about this movie that I learned, and that is obvious if it wasn't obvious to me, but it's obvious if it is to you, that it's based on the hero's tale. And you wouldn't say so much from this one. Oh man, there's a little bit of Blues Brothers. But I mean, he goes through different things, adversities. His knife gets bigger every movie. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you ever read the Epic of Gilgamesh, which I would never call him a hero, or if you've played The Legend of Zelda, which is mostly about Link, then yeah, you know the hero's tale, or so many other things. It's an old, what do you call that? Maybe an archetype. It's an old staple. Yeah, that was awesome. Looked every bit of real. Jumping that army car. That truck up in the air, like in all the wobbliness and everything. It was awesome. Looked like it was going to explode when it hit the ground. Now, right. So what is this for? Has he completely snapped? I'm pretty sure he's completely snapped here. And he's just, yeah, he's going to show him what's up now. So, sure, we've had some action spots here in the movie, but this is where I would say people would definitely call it an action movie. Yeah, we've got explosions. We're going to have so many bullets. This whole town getting messed up. They really blew that place up. I don't know. I wonder if this town is real or if it's like a filming place. Let's see. Hope is located in the fictional Liggett County. It is unknown where this county was supposed to be located in the state, but it is likely the north or southwestern part of the state based on Teasel's claim that Portland, Oregon is south, and that he doesn't want to hope that Rambo gets picked up in Seattle. Doesn't want to hope that. Yeah, so there you go.
For your own safety, please evacuate the streets immediately. Remain indoors until you receive further instructions. I repeat.
I wonder what else they use that for. They could just play music. I mean, that's got to be the only time. Maybe if there's like a tornado. Or do they do announcements like what's on television that Friday night? Or...
We found Rambo's body. As a matter of fact, he stole an army truck and blew the gas tank.
I was wondering where he was going with that. Forgot about that joke.
Why don't you forget what you're thinking and clear out what you can. You're trapped. Fights with you. When I talked to you earlier this afternoon, you knew he was still alive, didn't you?
Well, he had a like inkling.
I suspected.
Yeah.
Sure, that's why you stuck around. You trained. You taught him how to get out of places like that cave.
Well, I think it was already had a way out or two. It was like a mining place, right? With that giant gun, yeah.
You're gonna die, Teaser. There's only one man in this room who's gonna have a chance. That's not because I'm what he is. It's because he trusts me. See, I'm the closest other family he has left.
Yep. See, here you go. Told you, he's like a mother figure.
This is my job, Trouty. This is my town. And I'm not giving it up to you or to Rambo or to anybody else.
Have you ever thought about why a police officer or anyone, military, judge, has to wear a certain outfit? Are we not going to know he's the judge if he's not dressed in a black robe? Because you can maybe make a case for a cop, right? Say, well, you got to know who a cop is. What if you need help? What if you need to call a cop? Okay. Well, then why do they make sure that their cop cars don't look like cop cars? You know, why do they change them every 2 years? Why do they do stuff like that? Because cops don't want to be found. They're not here to be found. Like they're not here to protect and serve. You know, they're not here to be called upon and be first responders. I don't think police officers are considered first responders. Especially not in school shootings. I just heard this last year that, not to get too political, I guess, but they said finally they're going to start teaching cops how to be first responders for school shootings. I was like, well, you're about, 25 years too late there. So, because that was their job beforehand when you lied to everybody, especially in movies. Like, don't believe movies. Don't believe this movie. Don't believe CSI. Don't believe that happens. They're not doing that. They're not doing that for your grandma. They're not doing that for our I don't know, dead neighbors. They're not doing CSI stuff. If you're nobody. Cops don't always get their man. You know. And then this place. Yeah, I don't understand. Is he setting off the alarm? Because now he's shutting off the power. So was that, what was that? Just for fun or like a distraction? Nobody is out there except for those two. That's kind of a fun ending, I guess. It's just them, but it's weird. Yeah, I don't even think Rambo knows that that dude's there yet. Wait for him. And the guy is acting like, this is it. This is our big battle. I know he's coming for me. It's like, you made all this happen. And you're wrong. Rambo's not even, I don't even think he's coming for him. He's just tearing the town up. And Rambo's slinking around like people are out there watching him or something. And nobody is. So it's kind of confusing to think about it all. Because you'll see here coming up that Rambo just accidentally sees the sheriff guy. Because he's there acting crazy on the roof. And it's like, oh, well, Rambo just saw him, you know. If he wasn't doing all that, acting crazy on the police roof, probably wouldn't be an issue. He's always wanted to do this. This is highly unnecessary. They probably really did that for the movie. Lit all those bullets on fire. Well, I feel a little bit stupid. I guess I was just thinking, is fire going to do that? Does fire set off bullets? I'm sure it would depend on a lot of things, but oh, this is the first thing that came up. Will fire set off ammunition? When a fire comes through, this is a quote. When a fire comes through, and when that ammunition gets superheated to ignite, if it's stored in a steel container, that can create quite an explosion within the steel container, and the container itself can become dangerous bits of shrapnel in addition to the bullets and casings. That didn't really answer the question. Why is that first? The bullets sitting in the non-aligned chambers can also discharge from the heat. Alright, yeah. I guess they can. I guess they can do that, so. So chalk one up for the realism here. So I'm carrying that gigantic gun around. So far, he's just ruined all of these businesses and probably houses. He's used all these bullets and hasn't shot one person. Which I guess is commendable. I mean, he's just maybe trying to teach him a lesson. It's real quiet. Look out! Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's nothing much to it. It just basically happens. Yeah, there it is. Spoiler. Yeah, probably through the lung. And a couple other things. Don't do it. That's got to be one of the worst lines in the movie. Don't do it. Like he's not sure about saying it. Or he's trying to say it too hard. Yeah, we got a full bird colonel in here. Jeez. They can't hear you.
Think about what you're doing. The building's perimeter is covered. No exits.
This is something I read real quick. I didn't go into it. I read one of the endings that they thought about was that Rambo dies at the end.
This mission is over, Rambo.
I don't know if that's real.
This mission is over.
Nothing is over!
Look at him.
Reminds me of Robert Tilton. He was a prosperity preacher. His church was making like $70 million a year back in the early 90s or something.
It's over, Johnny.
And
It's over.
the guy's so
Nothing is over.
there. That's what reminds me of him, because the guy would say, he misspoke. He was trying to say what was it? The time for talking is over or something. This guy just always said the craziest stuff, and he was just like, the time for talking is over. Always reminds me of Rambo.
Back here, there's nothing. You're the last, and I'll eat proof. Don't end it like this. Back there, I can fly a gunship. I can drive a tank. I was in charge of $1 million equipment. Back here, I can't even hold a jet.
Bucket cars! It's another good yelling part. Yep. He's broken.
What's the Air Force? All these guys, man. Back there, I always fight the guys. Who are my friends?
I think he's got some certain lines to say here, but he's also going what is that, off the cuff? What? He wrote send to Las Vegas if found. He wrote that on his friend's head with a marker. Is that what he said? I missed it. I can't rewind it. But. I said yeah, and then we both said yeah. The Colonel was thoroughly disgusted by this display. Rambo? You ever get on Facebook? Told you, mother. Here comes mother. Rambo, don't do it. It's hard for the Colonel to even be like, get out of his Colonel character a little bit here. Just give him a big old hug. Sorry, John. Can I wear one of those big blue jackets when you take me out? Sure thing, John. Sure thing. So, I was going to say, pretty much every cop's probably dead except for red hair, and I think this guy's dying. Here's the song. Frank, everyone. Frank Stallone. pretty direct with the lyrics, I would say. Nothing interpretable here. It's I think he's telling you what's up. Well, that was awesome. Man, I felt like I talked for like 3 hours. That was probably a lot of stupid stuff being being said for the past hour and a half. Hopefully you said some funny stuff. I didn't hear any of it, but I hope you enjoyed it. It was a great movie. I think that's a great ending. It's pretty quick. I mean, for after that, that's good though. That's where it should end. There shouldn't have been any more. There shouldn't have been a stupid news report after. Shouldn't have been what's he doing now, and then oh man, gear you up for the next movie. No. But this part's only the beginning, as Frank's saying. So I wonder if they had that planned out. I wonder if they were planning a second one and third one that were going to be nothing like this first one. They're still good. Chief Gaffer, Russ Ingalls, Best Boy Steve Jackson. No way saying them Best Boy Shelly what? First of all, she's a girl. Second of all, how can there be two Best Boys? Boom Man. I like these names. Well, hopefully this sounded good too. This is my new, well, slightly new microphone setup. So hopefully it sounds better than the 3 previous episodes. And hopefully they're still fun to listen to while you're watching the movie. If not, I'm going to have to like redo those ones at some point for everyone who wants to watch it and watch it with me. And I would like to do something live. That'd be cool, but I don't know if anyone would show up. Maybe some people would show up. Maybe accidentally some people would show up. Who knows? I guess I'll have to try it. I don't know if my laptop and everything can run it that great. Like streaming, I don't know. I don't think I've ever done it. I want to say I've had an upload Premiere before, like for a video. So I've done like a Premiere things kind of like that. Maybe we could do like because we don't have to stream anything. I'm just going to be streaming a solid picture. You know, I'm just going to put a picture up. But then we're going to watch our movies together. I think that'd be neat. Right? Who knows? But that's it. I'll think of a good movie. I'll think of or anyone else if you want to think of a good movie that's not new. And that's actually good. Or something like that. You know, Blade. Bad Boys 2. I don't know. Or something better than all those. I'm not looking to watch like Star Wars. You know, but we could. I'm not looking to watch. I don't know. Well, I guess I'm down. I just didn't want to do the biggest movies ever. I wanted to do good fun movies. Really fun to talk about. Maybe interesting things about them, or they, you know, I've got stories that somehow tie into them, or memories, and you can tell. I mean, I'm still talking. I still have so much more to say. I could probably do this, you know, commentary on Rambo, you know, 3 times in a row. We could watch it, and I would say, you know, different things every time. I'd probably say half the same stuff, but you know, it's been watching it for 30 years. It's a great movie. What else is there for Stallone when you think about him first? It's Rocky and it's Rambo, you know. It's like Arnold. It's usually Predator or Terminator. And the same thing with Terminator 1, you know, just like Rambo 1. You're not going to see another Rambo 1, well, unless they reboot it. But I guarantee it won't even be like the Rambo that we know, or First Blood. But Terminator 1, Arnold was the bad guy, and they cut that out quick. How many movies do you see Arnold be the bad guy? Not too many, especially back then, or right after that. You know, after 1 came out, I bet they were like, dude, your persona is going to be the hero. You're going to be the action hero. You know, the last action hero, literally. So, you know, that's just how it is. but it was great. The Terminator's 1 is okay. I wouldn't think that's a real fun movie. This one was fun, for sure. Anyway, it was good hanging out, good watching. Hope you guys had fun too. Everything's fun. Everyone's fun. All the movies are fun, and have fun tomorrow and the next day. All right. I'll see you next time. Have fun.